Sly Media. This right here is my review on Atlanta, season 4, episode 8. Wow, this is another one-off episode Childish Gambino, aka Donald Glover, has done with Atlanta. A lot of these one-off episodes are very fun, very entertaining. I feel like, I seen another YouTuber guy say this. I'm gonna say as well. I feel like I would like to see a spinoff of some of these, like something else, maybe on a different network or something like that. Of all these, episodes with none of the main cast in, a lot of these one-off episodes he does. I would like to really see that. It would be very interesting, very entertaining to see that. I will enjoy it. But I don't, like I said, this is his last season, so I know some people might be upset about it because they might feel like, okay, it's the last season, expect more of the main cast and all that. But I like these one-offs he's done this episode. And of course, everybody knows season 3 was a bunch of them. I particularly liked him one-off episode last season. It was the one with that guy, with the light skinned guy that had the black father that was kind of like white per se, and I pretended to be like white as well and all that. I liked that episode. Of course, that's the episode with R.I.P. Kevin Samuels. I actually enjoyed that episode last season. That was actually my only favorite episode I had of all the one-offs, and the only episode I actually liked last season as well. But this season's been particularly good. I liked all the one-offs as well. This one for sure, I was enjoyed and entertained by it. So let's get straight to it. Let's talk about it. This episode right here is talking about like the riot and talk about a black Disney writer. Let's talk about. Let's say his name. Let's say his name loud, Mr. Thomas Washington, and all that. He's responsible. They have him saying he's responsible for creating the Goofy character about the Goofy movie. And anybody like me that was a fan of Disney growing up, like you definitely enjoyed the Goofy movie. I enjoyed it a lot. The Goofy movie. So they had him becoming like he was the creator of Goofy. He's responsible for writing the Goofy movie, the classic movie that everybody goes back to, with the banging soundtrack it had, with Eye to Eye with Tevin Campbell. Oh man, it brought back so many memories. I love the Goofy movie so much, and it has you really thinking like, okay, yeah, like man, yeah, maybe he did. Like, okay, and all that. It seems so real and all that. The way they did and all that. Especially we had guest appearance of Brian McKnight, Sinbad as well. Had you thinking it was just very real and all that. But of course, it was just a joke and all that. Some are real, some is fiction. So it was a joke, but it had you like really thinking like about the Goofy movie. It really was considered like a black movie and all about a single father raising his son, everything like that. Even had a short part where I was thinking about it again, looking at some other YouTubers as well, like as you saying, thinking like, oh, when the principal said, oh, he's gonna be nothing the way he dresses, just like a thug or something like that. And it, of course, as you think that's what, of course, the black, that's what we all talk about black people, like, oh, we always, end up in jail. We the main ones in prison and all that and everything. So, like I said with that, so it had you really think about like Goofy was actually kind of like a black movie when you think about it. And no, it has you want to watch it tonight actually, the Goofy movie, because I was definitely entertained by it and everything like that by this episode. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of one-offs like that, but these one-offs he's Donald Glover has done this season, I've liked it all on, especially this one. It's like every episode of Atlanta has been my favorite, and then this another one like I'm enjoying, but had me want to go back and watch it again as well. So, but the guy Thomas Washington, pretty much, he was a guy, and he was a guy that was into anime, writing and drawings, and they talked about how he was kind of picked on a lot and when he was younger and everything like that. And I know about that more than anybody. When you're into like, of course, anime, superhero stuff, and all that, especially back then, like 80s and 90s, early 80s and 90s, and all that. People weren't accepted of that like they are now. People are way more accepted of Marvel, DC, all that kind of stuff, Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, and all that. Back then, we was younger. People weren't into it like that as well, and all that. Like I said, I've been a big Marvel fan since I was younger. Not anime so much, mostly just Dragon Ball Z for the most part. I never get into Naruto or One Piece or any watch it like that. I did love Dragon Ball Z. A lot of my one tattoo on my arm is of a Dragon Ball Z character, Android 17. Everybody knows who that is. So I was definitely a fan of a little bit of anime growing up, but I always been a fan of Marvel and DC. Like growing up, watching those cartoons of the Batman movie. I mean, not the Batman movie, the Batman cartoon show. Everybody remember that used to come on WB, along with the Spider-Man movie. They used to come on. I mean, Spider-Man television show. They used to come on Fox. Everybody remember that for Fox Kids. So I'm more a fan of this stuff than anybody. So you know me, man. I was definitely like relating to this character a lot about that. How as black people, we just weren't blacks weren't accepted. I mean, not as a black man, you're just not accepted by kind of liking that kind of stuff, the cartoons and anime and drawing and all that makes you seem like you're a weird kid and all that. Not just being black either, but just anybody into that kind of stuff, you're not accepted to it. So Thomas Washington dealt with that a lot and all that growing up and everything like that. Never was accepted by people or anything to that fortitude or nothing like that or any of all. Like he wasn't, my bad, get my words right. He wasn't accepted of that magnitude by any of his peers or anything like that because of like oh he was into the anime and everything drawing. But all that drawing, get straight to it, got him in with Disney, and they ended up saying they made a mistake by by letting him come in there by choosing him to write and actually do a movie and all that goofy. And he also said they make what I'm saying, they let me write and do a movie, they'll never hear the end of it if I write and do a movie on Goofy and all that. And of course, I made a joke and like about that as well, about him doing the Goofy laugh and all that when he was going crazy, when he was going nuts and all. So it just really like very entertaining. Very much loved it. Loved the character. Love like how they did with Thomas Watson about him also having a son as well. About him and his son being the late together, hanging out as kids. That's what led, of course, the Goofy movie with Bigfoot and everything like that. Because it turns out he wanted, I think, with the cops getting pull him over and Huey P. Newton as well being like the forefront of that movie. I mean, of the movie as well and all that. But they took it out and put Bigfoot in and all that. Just a lot of scenarios and all that for the for this show, for this episode right here as well. Also with them hiring Tevin Campbell and all, they had Megan Brian Knight being in the interview saying he was responsible for it and all everything like that. Of course, we know that's false and everything, but made it like, oh, that could be true. Brain Barber Knight was responsible for hiring Tevin Campbell to do Eye to Eye. Cause like I said, that song Eye to Eye, that song never gets old. Like I love it. I love this song to this day. Had me go back and listen to it that same day I watched the episode. So I was definitely, like I said, intrigued, enjoyed, and loved it for sure, for sure. Like when I watched the episode last night. So also as well, I forgot they talked about one that was a real black Disney writer, like to shout him out, put him out there. Floyd Norman, who was responsible doing um Sleeping Beauty and a couple other things with Disney as well. And also, I didn't even know this. Actually, read a fun fact that Aladdin and Little Mermaid were responsible for the movies that were responsible for helping Disney for going bankrupt and all that. Kind of the same thing happened with Marvel, where people don't notice. They need to talk about this enough. They don't talk about this enough about Wesley Snipes saving Marvel from going bankrupt with the Blade movies, because Marvel's finna go bankrupt and all that. They have sold pretty much all their characters. Of course, they now officially have all of them back now since partnering up with Disney, but they lost all their characters and all that. And one of the only main characters they had was Blade. And Wesley Snipes, when he did Blade dropped 3 movies, and that's responsible for Marvel from going bankrupt and all that. And of course, Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. gets more credit for being the face of with Iron Man and all that, because that got Disney, that got Marvel to deal with Disney and all that, now Disney Plus and everything like that. But Wesley Snipes was the one that really got Marvel off the ground and all that. Robert Downey Jr. was the one that got him that, of course, that big deal and everything with Disney, which turned, of course, Marvel to the big entity it is now and everything like that. So, But that's the same thing Disney went through as well with Little Mermaid and Atlanta coming out. They helped save them. So, I just want to put that fact out there as well, a couple of facts. But, they ended off with Thomas Washington saying like they found his goofy, with him getting fired and getting let go of Disney because his wife. They have an interview about his wife saying he lost his character. He started getting pulled out of character, but he was coming goofy as well, and he just blew out of control and just lost his temper and everything and all that. And they ended up seeing him driving at the lake, the same lake that was part of the Goofy movie, and seeing his car there and everything like that, and just they see the goofy shoes he has, but they didn't see no body of him. So, and that's it. That kind of ends it and everything like that. Kind of like a normal documentary does on certain kind of stuff. So, like I said, definitely pretty entertaining. Definitely a good episode of Atlanta. Like I said, I think they should do more of these, the spinoff, like I said, of these episodes for sure, for sure. I feel like they should do something like that, but I don't know if they are or not. But like I said, I definitely have enjoyed this last season. I've enjoyed the spinoffs better than I had before this season a lot. But like I said, hopefully next week we get back to the regular Atlanta, because it's last 2 episodes. So obviously we get the main cast for the next 2 episodes. That should be definitely fun and entertaining. Get a proper send-off of one of the best TV shows I ever watched in Atlanta. So definitely entertained by it. Love this episode. Loving the guest appearances as well and all. I even love that they talk about how this was going on when the riots was going on, because it's well and everything that was going on while they were doing that, while the riots was happening and all that. So a lot of fun facts I seen from another YouTuber. I didn't actually even know when the Cosby Show ended. The Cosby Show actually ended. The last episode was premiered on the day of the riots, and and Bill Cosby telling everybody to stay at home and all that. I didn't know this. Will got it from another YouTuber. I didn't know all that either. So a lot how they put a lot of ties, a lot of stuff together from from like the riots to this episode about Thomas Washington, the character and everything. So another genius writer by Donald Glover, aka Childish Gambino, man. He's definitely a writing genius for a lot of this stuff. Even putting his own life, I feel like, in this with his character. Probably putting in some of the stuff he went through as a child in his life with his character. So it just shows how genius he is, how much of a good writer he is, and all that. That's why this show is probably definitely one of my favorite sitcoms I've seen in a while. Probably my favorite sitcom I've watched since probably watching Everybody Hates Chris. So definitely a phenomenal show, man. Definitely. So, like I always say, if you like the content, pencil hit that like and subscribe button. This is Sly Media. Y'all be safe. Enjoy your night. Hey, happy Halloween weekend. Have fun, eat a lot of candy and everything. I know I'm finna as well. So this is Sly Media. My next video probably is gonna be on Stargirl because I told you, like I said, Power has ended and BMF has come out to January. So my next video will probably come on. Oh my goodness, maybe like probably Thursday evening or something like that when I do my review on Stargirl. So probably next time I'll be on here on Sly Media, unless something big happens or anything like that. Oh, of course, man, I actually lost train of thought. Also, as well, I had to talk about James Gunn will now be the head of DC as well. He's headlining DC. I'm loving that. I'm loving that he's definitely going to be the head of DC. So I'm loving that because Guardians of the Galaxy is actually one of my top 10 favorite comic book movies of all time. I didn't like Guardians 2 that much. And as well, I think I just missed that original feeling, the soundtrack of the music, of the vibe of the first Guardians. But I still thought Guardians 2 was okay. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't good, the first one. Also, as well, he did do Suicide Squad 2, which I thought was better than the first one. I just feel like a lot of characters I wasn't familiar with and everything like that. So Suicide Squad 2 just didn't have, like I said, the effect when it comes to the characters. I feel like Suicide Squad 2 was a little bit better than the first one with the comedy and some of the humor, but I feel like it was just missing some of the main big characters we saw with the Suicide Squad in the first one. That's the only thing I'd say that probably missed from it. But the Suicide Squad 2 overall movie was better. I think it's just a lot of characters I was familiar with along with other audiences weren't familiar with. That's why I feel like Suicide Squad 2 just didn't do it as well that good and all that. Because really the only main member of the Suicide Squad 2 movie you saw was just Harley Quinn. That's the only main character you all know, Harley Quinn. So, I feel like that's what that movie fell short of just because of that. And I feel like they could have done a little bit better. I don't mind Starfish, but I feel like they had a better villain of it instead of, Starfish. So, I can't wait to see James Gunn head to DC. I definitely can't wait Guardians 3 that comes out next year that he's going to do. But him being the head of DC now, him being the head honcho for, I feel like he's going to do great things with it. We finally got DC, finally has a face. Somebody knows what they're doing, some in the right direction. And like I said, Black Adam was a pretty good movie. If you haven't seen Black Adam, check out my review on it and go see it as well. But of course, obviously go see it first, then see my review about it right here on Sly Media, Black Adam. So, yeah, check that out as well. But yeah, I can't wait to see it. James Gunn officially is going to be the head of DC. I can't wait. Also, as well, Venom 3 has finally found their new director and writer. So Venom 3 is coming. It's on the way. And there will be a new Vision, television series with the Vision that was on the WandaVision TV show. He will be getting his own spinoff on Disney Plus as well. So I don't know what to say about that because you look at my reviews on She-Hulk, you definitely can tell how I feel about Marvel Disney Plus shows if you want to know my reviews and reactions on them. So, let's see how it goes with the Disney Plus shows, with Vision now. I don't know, like I said. I ain't really like I said, check out my reviews on it, but I'm not really a big fan of Disney Plus shows on Marvel has or anything like that. Still more a fan of Marvel movies and all that. But, they are going through with a WandaVision television show. And also going through with Venom 3. I didn't care for Venom 2 that much. Thought it was okay. I thought the first Venom was better than the second one. But hopefully Venom 3 is better. Hopefully we get a big cameo, big Easter eggs from some other Marvel characters for Venom 3. So, But that is happening. Venom 3 and Vision television show is happening. But James Gunn is new head of DC. I can't wait to see what he does. I know he's going to be big. I know he's going to do big things with being the head of DC. So, can't wait for that. Like I said, this is my review on Atlanta, Season 4, Episode 8. Just wanted to put out there about a lot of big news in the superhero world and with the superhero genre that's going on as well. So, yeah, have a good night and be safe. This is Sly Media.